Hey everybody, let's do another NPD marker because why not? We've still got some left. Tonight I'd like to talk about preoccupation with fantasies of power because I had a lot of those. Preoccupation with fantasies of power, very much what you think they are. It may vary to different degrees in individuals as to what fantasies of power they actually have, but you can see very quickly how these things start to go wrong because you might have fantasies of power just over people in your immediate environment. It might be bigger than that. Personally, I always thought I should be in charge of the world. Now, hear me out on this, right? I try to be a good I wouldn't hurt anybody, right? I don't want to take over the world. I'm not suggesting that in a kind of weird World War III kind of way. No, the people should just sort of give me power based on the fact that I probably want to do it better than everybody else does. Shouldn't I be in charge of the world? Really? I kind of think that a little bit. More than I'm supposed to. Not enough to do anything about it, obviously. I should make that abundantly clear that while I might, at various points in my life, to varying degrees, believe I should be in charge of the world and everything in it, I'm never going to really push for that. I do understand that a lot of people would probably object to that plan. And so don't worry about that, okay? I don't, but there was a time when it was joked about a lot. Rich the Evil Emperor. And it was a joke, but also not. Why do you think I got into podcasting in the first place? Fantasies of ridiculous power. Where does power lie? I looked at the media. You might look at government, you might look at armed forces, you might look at business. No, it's all in the media, isn't it? At least that's what I thought when I got started in podcasting. It's all in there. So I thought I'd take over the world in a kind of Rupert Murdoch-y way. In a kind of Bond villain-y kind of way. And it would be for the better, wouldn't it? If I was in charge. I mean, I know all the right things to do with everything, right? I mean, clearly I've got all the answers that the world's politicians haven't got. And I'm not affiliated with any particular party. I just want to be nice. So I should be in charge of the world, right? Please? That's in there. But that's the extreme. I mean, it kind of boils down. Wanting to have power over everything and everyone, down to the nitty-gritty, but I don't know, maybe I was kind of saved from that a little bit by the BPD going off at the same time. And I was kind of the master of my own little domain, such as it was. So that kind of fed into that. But fantasies of massive power. Yeah. And yet I couldn't tell you why. Because quite frankly, when you look at it, running the world sounds like a massive headache, doesn't it? Why would you want to do that? I mean, what do you really want to get out of that? There's only so much stuff you can have. If you're in charge of the world or whatever, you're still only getting the same iPad as everybody else. You're still only drinking Coca-Cola. You know what? What do you want? What's the point in running the world? Unless you just want to tell everybody what to do because you know best. Isn't that the thought process behind it all? Why else would I want to run the world? There's an element of, come here, let me do it. I had trouble voting in general elections because none of the candidates were me. I did consider at one point the possibility of trying to stand as a Labour Party candidate. That came with a couple of problems. First of all, somebody with my mental disorder should not be running to be in politics. Unfortunately, I don't know that people who are actually in politics have taken themselves up on that rule. There are clearly quite a few unhinged individuals, especially around the world. I'm not going to pick on anybody in particular. And also, I think, I would be very disappointed in the Labour Party if I made it through their vetting process. Right? There is an element of I wouldn't want to be a member of the club that would have me as a member. Now, I can't tell you as I sit here that I've worked my way through this process, that I now don't really think the world would be better off if I were in charge of everything. I kind of do think that. And I've kind of just learned to just make my peace with that. If I think that, so what? Right? I mean, as long as I don't let it affect my behavior and what I do on a day-to-day basis. Like I say, I'm not going to try and take over the world. So isn't it okay? As long as I don't behave like I should be in charge of the world, which I think I've got that down. Now, there might be times a lot of these NPD markers sort of go on just a watch list. Like, this will never go away. Just watch out for when you're doing it. And this is another one of those. Like I say, again, cannot emphasize enough, not trying to take over the world. Don't really want that level of responsibility. But wouldn't it be better? Wouldn't it be better? I think it would be better. I'd have shut down pubs and restaurants a week earlier. I'm just saying, Just saying. You don't have to do it all nastily, do you? You don't have to go all North Korea. You could do it nice. See, and I could tell you what I have planned because I've thought it through. This is weird. I'm going to stop now. Yeah, it's really a thing. Preoccupation with fantasies of power. I'll see you later. Bye.